Hello and welcome to Soton Anatomy Hub. In this short video we will briefly cover the short or intrinsic muscles of the foot. It assumes prior knowledge of the bones and ligaments of the foot, however, a good understanding of the muscles of the hand will also be useful. The foot is something I somewhat neglected in my studies, partly because of the confusing similarity between the muscles of the foot and the hand. However, as I will hopefully demonstrate, this confusion was unnecessary. To start with, I would like you to place the palm of your right hand on the dorsal surface of your right foot. This may be more beneficial if you're barefoot. If you know the muscles of the hand, you can now roughly predict the muscles of the foot. This of course makes perfect sense based on our understanding of human evolution. As we work through, I would also like you to consider the function of the muscle, which is often in the name. For example, flexor digitorum brevis, flexor, flexors, digitorum, digits, in this case, toes, brevis, a shorter muscle. Therefore, this muscle flexes the toes. Additionally, if you know the attachments, you can easily work out the function by thinking about how the force will be applied to the bone relative to a particular joint. We will start with the dorsum of the foot. There is only one short muscle on the dorsal surface of the foot, the extensor digitorum brevis. It originates from here on the dorsolateral calcaneus and inserts here on the extensor expansions of all the toes except the little toe. Some people consider the segment leading to the big toe as a separate muscle, but this is for interest only. Now let's talk about the sole or plantar surface of the foot. This is considerably more complicated. The most superficial and easiest to spot muscle of the sole is the flexor digitorum brevis. This flat muscle is the first thing you'll see once the plantar fascia is removed. It originates from the calcaneal tuberosity and inserts on the lateral 4 intermediate phalanges via divided tendons which bridge the tendons of flexor digitorum longus, an extrinsic muscle of the foot. Personally, I find it useful to think of flexor digitorum brevis as an equivalent to the flexor digitorum superficialis of the arm, as it has identical distal attachments and function. Moving on, Quadratus plantae lies deep to the flexor digitorum brevis. It originates from the lateral and medial calcaneus and weirdly inserts on the tendon of the flexor digitorum longus, an extrinsic muscle of the foot. It is the outlier in my hand analogy, so I apologise. Quadratus plantae straightens and assists the tendon of flexor digitorum longus. The 4 lumbrical muscles arise from the 4 tendons of flexor digitorum longus. They insert on the extensor hood, a connective sleeve which runs along the dorsal surface of the phalanges. This leads to an interesting double action whereby contraction will flex the metatarsophalangeal or MTP joints, but extend the interphalangeal joints. This makes sense if you consider the force applied from a lateral perspective. Lastly, for this part of the video, let's look at the interosseous muscles. There are 7 interosseous muscles in the foot, just like the hand. Similarly to the hand, this comprises of 4 dorsal interossei and 3 plantar interossei. The 4 dorsal interossei arise from the adjacent metacarpals and insert, like so, on the proximal phalanx of the middle 3 toes. Note the first dorsal interosseous muscle is the odd one out, inserting medially onto the second proximal phalanx rather than laterally. The 3 plantar interossei arise from the medial side of metatarsals 3 to 5 and insert medially, like so, on the lateral 3 proximal phalanges. All the interossei also insert onto the extensor hood, so in addition to their ability to ab and adduct, they also facilitate interphalangeal extension and MTP flexion. That's it for this video. We still haven't covered the muscles specific to the big and little toes, so please join me in the next video in order to do so. Thanks for watching.